Hello, it is Throwback Thursday. Happy Halloween, October 31st, 2024. Steve Cypress here. Gorgeous sunset going on behind me, and I believe, if I remember correctly, the young kiddos kind of finish up their trick-or-treating before sundown. The parents don't want to be out with them after dark. That's when the kind of older kids, not adults, but the older kids come out and do all their tricks and their treating and so forth. And so we have the annual wearing of the ridiculous rhino costume. Ridiculous. My beautiful wife Michelle always complains and laughs, and because this is made for like a 5-year-old, and so clearly it doesn't fit, and clearly like the arms, these are the legs. I think they come down to like just below my elbow. However, it's the rhino costume that they had in the store or on Amazon or whatever. I bought it 20-something years ago, and I put it on once a year, so here we are. And unfortunately, where we live up here in the mountains, not a lot of kids around. The kids in our community, it's a big community, about over 3,000 homes, but most of the starter homes where most of the kids are way down the mountain. And so the kids don't really come on up here for trick-or-treating, so I'm always sitting there ready for them to come. And yet, year after year, the kids don't show up. So this is it for my Halloween happiness, is wearing the ridiculous rhino costume and telling you just a little tidbit, and I'll let you go. No business tip today, but a personal story. I was visiting a medical office this morning for a medical condition, a follow-up appointment. Found myself in the emergency room a few weeks ago. Hopefully everything's okay. We got some testing scheduled for the next couple of days, and then we'll find out in a week or two what's going on. But so far, so good. But come on now. There I was with my beautiful wife Michelle in this medical office, and every, whatever they're called, the receptionist, the worker, the office workers, every office worker on their counter had a plastic pumpkin full of candy. And we saw one guy next to, he was like jamming little bags of candies into his pants. I'm like, this is the grown adult. Like, you can't afford $1 for a couple of, anyway, or you don't have some at home or whatever. Then put on a costume and go get all the candy you want. But anyway, my beautiful wife Michelle was like, oh, these look good. These look good. And she started to open up this little, whatever, grape flavored little packet of some kind of chewy grape. I'm like, honey, what are you doing? There's no real fruit in there. It's a fruit chews or something. I'm like, there's no fruit in there. That's not fruit. That's pure sugar. It's all the highest possible fructose crap, corn syrup stuff. I'm like, and probably some poisonous dyes that are illegal all over the world. But not until RFK gets in there, hopefully soon, and starts to get rid of some of this poisonous crap that we Americans ingest into our bodies. But I was like, man, the most ironic thing of all is who is handing this out? It's in a medical office. Wouldn't you think that if you, for a profession, the doctors, the nurses, the staff, you would think all of them are in that profession because they like helping people with their health. And yet they're passing out crap that's really bad for you. I mean, it's good for you mentally. I was like, honey, why would you? Well, I'm hungry. I'm like, if you're hungry, go eat food. Like, in fact, my beautiful wife Michelle loves blueberries. I'm like, go home, we're going to be home in 5 minutes. Grab a handful of blueberries. Those taste good, better than this crap. Oh, well, no, probably not. They're not. They're natural tasting. These things are engineered to be addictive. Like, I got to have more. So maybe they don't taste as good, but man, they taste great. They're a superfood, great antioxidant. They're fantastic for you. Nobody needs to eat this crap, much less medical people handing it out. I mean, what other country? I mean, maybe there's other countries, but I mean, I can't believe that any of these doctors, if they take a month off and go to a third world country to volunteer and help the poor people in some tiny village in the middle of nowhere, do you think they're going to be helping with their medical issues and saying, oh, by the way, here's some high fructose corn syrup, ingest this stuff? Like, I don't think so. Like, so just, that's it. That's my message today. Just passing on the way I look at the world, the irony of the medical profession contributing to the poor health overall of the American people, and specifically of anyone that happened to come into that clinic probably for the past few weeks. They've been handing out crap. And so, it's a big reason that's RFK's added to Donald Trump's list of things he's going to make happen again. He's going to make America healthy again. Well, that's RFK. So hopefully he does get in there, because he couldn't get in there on his own. He got shut out by his party. And so he joined up with Trump, who technically, of course, for all the machine and all the money, has to run under one of the major parties. But as Trump always says, and everyone knows, this is not anything about one party against the next. This is people that love big, fascist, authoritarian government versus people that want more individual rule over our lives and more freedom. And it's not about one party or the other. RFK, I'm pretty sure, even though he's with Trump right now, he's not going to say anything but he's a lifelong Democrat. Everyone in his family is, all his friends, his wife, his kids, everyone he knows. Not that he knows now that he knows Trump, but pretty much everybody in his life is a lifelong Democrat. I don't think just for a few months of joining up with Trump because the Democrat Party and the Republican, both parties are a disastrous mess. I really think it's all about he cares about helping people. He always has. He's born into that Kennedy family. His father, his uncle, his whole family is all about public service. And so hopefully we will not for long see medical officers. I mean, whoever runs the whole place, so some the doctor doesn't say like, hey, by the way, let's stop giving that crap out. That actually hurts people. And no one, I have to believe that everyone on the staff with these buckets of crap on their desk and on the counters, they're all silently do it. They're afraid to bring up the point of hey, should we be doing this? We're solving people's health problems and trying to make them healthy here, and you are hurting them with this crap. It reminded me, I was telling my beautiful wife Michelle on the way home, I was in the door-to-door sales world for 9 years, and I would bring into the office every morning. I was part of a company at hundreds of locations. Now they have thousands, but back then they were pretty much just starting out in the first few years, and they had about a couple of hundred locations, and it was a kind of tradition that the owners, the managers of locations would bring in the morning for the door-to-door salespeople while they're filling up their, going in the warehouse and putting stuff in their cars and getting ready to sell stuff for the day. And they'd bring in coffee and donuts. Hey, have some energy, coffee and donuts. And I vowed I wasn't going to do that. And sure enough, when I got my first office, and in my office, as always, I would bring in some healthy drinks and fruit. So I'd bring in apples. And of course, they look at me and go oh man, that's not fun, an apple. I'm like, look, I care about you. And even if it's just subconsciously, you're realizing I care about you. I'm not bringing in junk, not like this doctor's office. I'm not saying I care about you and then giving you donuts or high fructose sugar, candy, crap. And so I was like, I'll bring in as many apples, please put them in your pocket, eat them throughout the day, take as many apples as you want. If I bring in 24 apples and they're all gone within 5 minutes, I'll bring in 5 dozen tomorrow. And if they're all gone, I'll bring in 10. I'll bring in as many apples and as much good, healthy iced teas, fruit juices without the sugar, all kinds of good stuff I wanted to put in. They have to put it in, but I offered for my people to put it into their bodies, and that's just what I believe. If I had a medical clinic, the last thing I would do was pass out crap for my patients to ingest and harm themselves. What the heck? Anyway, not a very upbeat message here for Halloween. However, it's Throwback Thursday, and I want to throw it back to when I was a kid, where I grew up as a kid in New York, and the weather was not always 80, 85 degrees like it was here today, and it's spectacular, beautiful, and the kids can walk around with any costume they want. What I remember the most not liking and being frustrated about Halloween was that it's practically November in New York, and temps would drop, and I'd have to put a coat on over my Halloween costume, and I hated that. I was like, but I got my Batman costume or my whatever costume, and I want people to see it. I mean, no. Got to put on a coat, got to have a hat, gloves, whatever. Like, whoa, it kind of wrecked it. So at least here, being out in the desert, the end of October, we still have spectacular 85-degree sunny days, and the kids can have fun wearing their costumes and showing them off and going around the neighborhoods and having a lot of fun, and then need to schedule those doctor's appointments for all the damage they're doing to their insides with the crap they're ingesting. But I digress, and I'm repeating myself, and I am beating a dead horse because I wouldn't want to beat a rhino alive or dead, and that'll do it for Throwback Thursday, Halloween, October 31st, 2024. Thanks for indulging me in my mini rant here today, or not so mini. And I will catch you tomorrow back with some business building lessons on Foundation Friday. Until then, have a happy rest of your Halloween, and I'll catch you next month, as they say, tomorrow. Over and out.